A little trade recap here. So today was another paper win, and of course these are not real trades. I just want to be very clear with that. But I still want to go over the thought process because I think it can be really valuable. And the trade was, as you can see, this trade here towards these highs, and it is exactly what we noticed yesterday. This trade just confirmed it even more. So here we can see that we had this fair value gap, but again, like we discovered yesterday, this is actually a breakaway gap. Uh, I will go over the higher time frame context first. That on the weekly time frame we yesterday respected this weekly fair value gap, and on the daily time frame we had this huge wick showing that we indeed respected it. We have now today come into this daily fair value gap that could push price higher, and on the 4-hour we do have this 4-hour bearish value gap. I'm not expecting the daily fair value gap to actually push price all the way up to this high, even though it could happen since we do have NFP today, which is also why I did not live trade. But we could still expect a rejection off of it to then trade into this 4-hour fair value gap that came off of this weekly one. So here on the hourly, we were in the third candle creation of a hourly fair value gap, but on the 15-minute we had already had bullish displacement higher and confirmed this breakaway gap. And this is where the sauce comes in, the valuable sauce, because here on the 1-minute time frame, first, this 15-minute candle, the third candle, was created between 3 a.m. and 3:15 a.m., which on the 1-minute here we can see that in that time window, here's 3 a.m. the open, we had one fair value gap higher on the 1-minute time frame, 2 time frames below the 15-minute, came into that, we respected that and created another fair value gap higher right here. This now confirms the idea that this is indeed a breakaway gap on the 15-minute time frame, and we most likely will not trade into this, but we can still sweep this, or we will most likely sweep this last line of defense, that after the first fair value gap is created and we come into that, this low that comes into the first fair value gap to then displace higher, that will likely be swept, which we can see here, to then continue higher. So what I did is I waited for a retracement into the 50% mark, into discount, entered there and then, covering this area, because if we are sweeping liquidity we should not release the liquidity, but we should keep them traders trapped to then take out the opposite liquidity. So this was the paper trade I took. Extremely nice and just a overall confidence boost. And this is, it's very important to note as well that I did have a very clear higher time frame target, which was this 4-hour fair value gap. We can also see how fractal this is, because this 4-hour fair value gap is not a breakaway gap. We can see that on the 15 minutes. First of all, when was it created? The third candle was between 5 p.m. yesterday and 9 p.m. In that time window, actually we can see that we did not have a 15-minute ST plus RE away from it. We just had fair value gaps going lower, but we never had the clean sting into a fair value gap to then create new fair value gaps lower. We just had one leg with fair value gaps, showing that we do not have confirmed order flow after this fair value gap has been created. And of course we also had the clear displacement towards it at the open. So this was a clear target, had a clear sweep as well here. Just overall very readable price action, clear price action, not very hard to read. But that was the trade, at least. So next week I will most likely play some live trades, because I do think the news calendar will be better. But yeah, enjoy the valuable lessons.